Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. In today's video, we're going to share important details for new or returning players. It's a question that I get a lot, where do I buy stuff? Or how do I figure out where to play in my local area? Where do I get rulings or information? So we're going to cover all those things. I'm with Trell.
What's up, peeps?
Hey guys. Yo.
And so all four of us are going to do this really weird thing where we try to rotate around and explain this. Let's get started.
I don't know where the fuck they came
Let's
from.
go.
So the first thing that you might ask if you're a new player is, what do you buy?
Well, if you're a returning player, a lot of times players, they want to catch up with the game. And so if you want to catch up to like the last year of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Megatins are always a great start.
Yeah, they really are.
Probably your best bet would be the Megatins.
Yeah, they have everything that is relevant for like the past format or two.
All the metal, or just anything from the last few sets, especially if you've missed out on a few of them.
Oh, that's true.
Another thing that I think about as well, especially since we do a lot of reprints in the game, Gold Series are usually really good.
Gold Series is
Gold
great.
Series get a lot of cards that were just high metal or just highly sought after cards
Makes a
that
bunch
were
of
good.
really ugly good cards.
Yeah, they're ugly. I think they're ugly, but they're really good. They're
Really
still
solid.
useful. They still play. And also, one other thing from my end, I think would also sometimes, just really depends, but I like the battle packs as well. Battle packs have reprints. They also have a lot of gems that people use throughout time. Like we got like that side that card Typhoon came from a battle pack, and it's like
This one battle?
it's from a battle pack.
Okay.
And another safe pick, as something to get, I guess, is just whatever the most recent set is. So if you're kind of like looking to make your money back with whatever you buy, don't get like anything more than like 2 sets ago, right? Like, so right now that would be the Dark Illusions and Shining Victories.
Shining Victories.
And you want to get special editions too, because
Yeah, those can be
then
good.
for your buck, and then you get promos too, which could be useful.
Yeah, a little extra.
Yeah, if you're buying it from like, Walmart or a Target, then yeah, the special editions are like, it's like 3 packs for $10,
$10,
and
which
like
is
promos,
really good.
things like that. And also, the recent structure deck right now is like Rise of the True Dragon Lords, or something like that.
Philbrand something.
For a long time, there was Monarchs. That was a good one. So, those are several of them. But where would you want to buy all of this stuff?
TCGplayer.com.
Yeah.
TCGplayer.com.
It's a better place than all of them to buy stuff because
Why
they're
not
our
think of that?
sponsor. No, but really, go to TCG Player. You can get lots and lots of stuff there.
Yes.
They've got singles, really good prices, and they've got sealed. And the best part about TCG Player is that multiple sellers actually sell the same product, so you can make sure you find like the cheapest price or the place that can ship the fastest. And so that's
true.
really,
That's true.
really
Variety is always good, especially in this game, especially when money is always an issue. So he's right.
So the next thing that you might be wondering if you're a new player, where do you play? If you're in a new area or you haven't played in a long time, so like, whatever card shop you maybe used to play at is closed, where do you find places to play?
Probably your local bookstore. They actually have card places in like Books A Millions, Barnes and Nobles. They're always small, but you might start your own scene there. Also, you have your own hobby shops, card shop.
Fun fact, that's like the first place I played was in a local library, and we didn't have a card shop there.
I think when I was in Missouri, they played in the library out there too. So
What if you need to just find a place though?
going to the actual official Yu-Gi-Oh site itself will give you locations to locals in your area. If you're going, maybe you're on vacation, you want to find somewhere to stop by for a bit. Go to the Yu-Gi-Oh official site. Bam, they got a list. They got addresses. They have opening times.
Yeah, that's true. I like that they have the address and everything.
Yeah, address. They have opening times, things of that nature. And also, not only can you find your locals, you can also find other things like tournaments, so like OTSs. You have regionals, things of those natures. Once again, gives you dates and times and also prices. Gives you rulings, gives you new card sets that are coming out, leaks on new cards that are coming out. Just kind of gets you prepared for the game, especially if you're going to be a competitive player.
And another useful thing to do is just search around on Facebook. Facebook, Reddit, like places like that where you can just find a community,
Right.
Sometimes you just type in, like, say you live in New York, New York Yu-Gi-Oh group.
Yeah.
And there tends to be, like, Facebook groups for
Yeah,
that.
plenty of anywhere you are. Even the most obscure location has a Yu-Gi-Oh community.
So an ongoing problem when trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and even if you're a really experienced player, is finding rulings. Because as we all know, how you read the card and how it actually interacts in the game are not necessarily the same thing.
Definitely Yu-Gi-Oh.
And stuff comes up when you're just playtesting with your friends, like how does this card work, all that. And there are a couple of different ways you can find rulings. First would be ask your local
Judge.
Yeah, you judge the places, don't you?
I do judge, yes.
Tell us about judging. What can judges do to help you? Besides give you infractions.
I know something that I personally practice at my local, since I am the judge there, is if I do see an infraction, if I see a misplay, maybe if somebody wasn't paying attention to a mandatory effect. I call those kind of things out to them and make them notice that, because these are things that you want to be mindful of when you're playing in the actual game. Also, always make sure I refer to an actual Yu-Gi-Oh website as well whenever they need other guidance besides, because the judge is not always going to be around all the time.
That's true.
So I always make sure that they know they can go to the official Yu-Gi-Oh site and look up rulings as well in regards to that. So if they have any questions, because like he said, sometimes you read a card, you interpret it one way, but it's not that way at all, and then you're confused, and that's a big thing.
I would say, kind of following up on the Yu-Gi-Oh site, Yu-Gi-Oh Wikia.
Yeah,
That's what I used to.
Yeah, the best resource. They have rulings for pretty much every card.
just about, yeah.
Except new stuff.
Yeah, sometimes it's, yeah.
I have an extra suggestion for that. As far as like brand new cards, Why Go organization actually they do rulings for cards like in the OCG.
True.
So even before they get here, you can already get an idea of how judges are ruling there and how they will rule here on effects.
Yeah,
And
go ahead. But also in regards to just like something we mentioned earlier, Facebook as well. I'm actually a part of many Facebook groups, whether it just be community groups or judge groups. If you have questions, you can post them in a lot of the actual Facebook Yu-Gi-Oh groups. And 9 times out of 10, there's a judge or someone knowledgeable there that can assist you with your question, if not multiple people. So if you have a question, you should never be afraid to ask in your community, because we have to help each other. So.
And you can use Pojo for that too.
Yeah, Pojo. A lot of forums like Dueling Grounds, Pojo.
Yeah, I'm a judge on all those things.
Reddit, you can ask.
At least I claim to be.
And push comes to shove, you can always actually just email Konami. A lot of people don't know that, but Konami has a support email address. It's on their official website. I'll link it in the description. But you can just email them and actually ask, and they do respond, and they'll explain it. So, worst comes to worst, you can always use them.
Alright guys, if you're like me, then you play this game without actually knowing how to play. Because you don't actually play with anybody. So, how do you fix that? You need to find somewhere to practice, either online or in real life. But for your online options, there are more simple ones. You can go to WhyGo. That's what I use. I play against the AI. I also
WhyGo Pro, right?
WhyGo Pro. Everyone calls it WhyGo, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, there are.
Well, there's no dueling network.
I call it
so
By the end.
WhyGo Pro. There's also Dev Pro. Is that any different? What's the difference between Dev Pro?
To me, no.
Yeah, they're both online simulators. There are lots of online simulators. You can go to those. I'll have a link in the description to download that, because it's kind of hard to.
It is.
It's a bit of a hassle to download them.
Yeah, you've got to go through hoops to get to it. Using like a Discord and stuff, it's horrible.
But if online dueling is not your speed, we mentioned locals before. We'll mention them again. A great place to practice for like a regional or just a practice in general is locals.
Yeah.
Never feel bad about like if your shop allows it, going on like weekdays and stuff. I know we used to do that a lot at like my local shop, Dragon's Lair. Where like, maybe the tournament's on a Saturday, but maybe people still just show up on like Wednesdays or Thursdays or something to practice, and that's always really good. And it lets you get out of your friend circle a bit, so you're not just like, well, me and Charles are the only people who play this game, and we just play each other, at our house, and we don't play anyone else, and that's just it. And so like you don't.
For the longest time, he was the only other Yu-Gi-Oh player in the world.
He's still the only person I play.
So make sure that you find some kind of way to practice, whether
I beat you.
Whether online or in person, you should definitely try to find a place or a method of practicing. You could play the video games, couldn't you? They're really bad.
They are simulators.
They're accurate.
I'm going to stay out of that one.
Okay, find somewhere to practice. Moral of the story.
Yep.
All right, and also maybe you guys are wondering, you're trying to get back into the game, you want to be competitive, you want to know what's out there, you want to know what's coming out, what you'll be dealing with, what you'll be facing in regionals. So let's tell you a few places where you can find some news, some coverage, some good articles as far as deck lists, like I said, rulings, good ideas, and current standings in the meta. What do you guys have?
The first thing I would put out is WhyGoOrganization.com. That was the first Yu-Gi-Oh news spot I even knew.
He turned me on to it. It's awesome. I really do love it.
It was my go-to for the longest time. Solid articles. They keep up with the OCG.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because you get to find the new stuff kind of before it's out, and so it's not just like current news, it's kind of upcoming things. I really like that.
So it's coming soon, which really helps out a lot. So it's not like something like a year away that you're waiting for.
Yeah, it's just relatively new stuff.
I mean, there are other places.
And it updates daily. That's the best part.
Yeah, there really is something new on WhyGo Organization every day.
What else y'all got?
Well, I mean, you can use Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's a good one.
That's great for them.
Sometimes they get it before even WhyGo Organization does it.
Well, they're gotta be fast to beat the first post game.
And you get those sweet, sweet leaks.
Yeah,
those
that's
leaks.
true. You can even watch like a YouTuber read it off their screen to you. There are lots of channels that do that. But a really great place to... I'm in a bad mood today. There's a really great place to read some articles, and that's also TCG Player.
I was about to say your chest.
Yeah, you can read them right off of this. TCG Player is really great though because outside of selling stuff, they do give deck lists and they do make articles.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
some of the articles are just more like theory craft. Some are analyzing a deck that won recently. Some are market watches. So it's a great way to keep up with like prices, what's winning, what decks you can be siding against,
Right,
card
good
suggestions, lots of great stuff.
Really solid research.
Link to that in the description as well. And then, though, just off the top of my head, ARG still makes articles, right? That's like a site that does
Yeah.
your typical forums. Your typical forum,
Yeah,
Pojo,
Pojo,
Jones,
yeah.
you can get your news coverage from there. Yeah.
YouTube is also a big tool as well. I mean, you guys are watching us in this video, but if you guys are looking for news articles, like things on coverage,
There are loads of channels that will read it off of a screen to you.
there are loads of channels that
Screen
have the
capped,
information as
no
well.
webcam.
We're not gonna say any
Yeah.
names.
Just in case you can't read, they'll read for you.
Yeah, they'll read it for you.
Anyway, but a lot of coverage and a lot of news on the current meta and things of that nature. And like they say, even the future cards that may just be getting read to you,
They do love
still
speculation.
future cards that you guys should be prepared for. Just just be kind of mindful of. YouTube will be a big place for that as well. So don't be afraid to go search on YouTube. It ain't net decking if it ain't helping.
So that concludes the video. That's sort of our list of resources for new or returning players. Just places to go to find information, where to buy things, where to get news, all that stuff. If the video was useful to you, there are a couple ways you can help us out.
Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Dang it, I suck.
Share this with your friends. Post in other groups. Post on your page.
And leave comments. What other advice? What's like a good place for a new player to go? Things like that.
Right. What are some things you guys have experienced in your return to the game, or and just being introduced to the game in general?
And moral of the story: check out TCG Player. I think that's been it. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.